Hi everyone and welcome to this week's newsletter. We're safely inside the studio today for this week's tip, rather than outside where it's absolutely chucking it down. The weather's really taken a turn the last sort of week, I think, with the wind sort of switching direction from I think the east now, so it's a lot colder and a lot more wintry out there. And I guess, to be honest, it's probably a lot more what you'd expect when we're nearly in December. But that actually kind of got me thinking this week. This week's newsletter is literally themed around the current conditions. Now, I'm on the third hole at Royal Birkdale, and I've actually set live conditions on the simulator behind me. And I'm hitting the second shot into the third, which is about 150. I've set it up, if you can see that. And actually, we're hitting into a 25 mile an hour headwind. So we're hitting into the wind 25 mile an hour. Now, normally, no wind, this would be a comfortable A time for me. Now, so far, I've tried a couple of times, and I'm only hitting this about 100 yards, I think it is. So I'll just try and hit one for you. So, as I said, normally for me, a good A time carries about 150. There you go, so that was pretty well struck, as you can see. Look, see the blue line, it's going nice and straight. It's hit the wind, look, it's coming backwards. It travelled, 94 yards carry, so into the wind, a 25 mile an hour wind. I've actually lost about 55, 56 yards of distance. So suddenly you see, I just can't hit a normal A time, it just doesn't work. So what would you do if this was out on the golf course? Well, a punch, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to hit a punch shot. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the terminology, a punch is basically when you're trying to hit the ball low, either under the wind to try and maximise your distance, or the same difference if you hit the ball into the trees and you're trying to get the ball back out into play, trying to keep it below those overhanging branches. So for this particular distance, I'm going to try and show you a 5-iron. Here we go. So let me talk you through what I would do. So if I was going to try and punch the ball, obviously for real, the first thing I'd be looking at doing is obviously choosing a little bit more club. So I've gone for a 5-iron. Now, a 5-iron for me, normal conditions, normal swing, I'd probably hit this about 190, give or take, I reckon. So in theory, I should have loads of club in reserve to hit this 150. So what would we do? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my feet a little bit closer together than normal, and I'm actually going to try and play the ball a little bit more in the centre of my stance, as I described in last week's tip on how to hit a hybrid out of the rough. So by playing the ball a little bit further back in my stance, I'm going to hit down on it a bit more, which should help me de-loft it, and again help me hit the ball a little bit lower, even lower than a standard 5-iron would go. Now the next thing I'm going to do, to kind of again help me kind of get this descending blow on the ball, I'm going to put a little bit more weight on my front foot, so maybe 60-40. I'm definitely going to be trying to keep my hands ahead of the ball, as you can see there, and as I've described in the last couple of weeks. So again, trying to keep that straight line from my left shoulder down. Now, from here, I'm going to use my normal grip and posture, but I want to grip down the club a little bit more than normal, again, to try and give me sort of a slightly less distance, and again, a slightly more kind of sort of steep held-off feel, I guess, to the swing. Now, from here, I'm probably going to make only really going to make sort of a 3/4 length backswing, again to really help me sort of generate that feeling of hitting down on the ball, hard and steep, trying to keep the loft off of it, trying to send the ball low. But I guess the biggest difference in the swing would be the follow through. What I'm looking for is a very sort of short, restricted follow through, whereby I almost want to feel or see the club sort of pointing at the target rather than it sort of moving up towards the sky and behind me. Now, I guess an unknown factor a lot of the time is the height of the follow-through goes a long way to determining the height of the shot, the trajectory. So if I have a high follow-through, we'd normally associate that with a high shot. Again, low follow-through, low shot. So that's what we want. So let me try and play it. Now, I haven't actually done this yet, so I'm hoping I've guessed the conditions, because to be honest, there is always a bit of guesswork with punch shots. You are trying to sort of feel the wind, and what club you need to take to try and get it right. But let's try it. So, gripping down, feet a bit closer, ball more in the middle, weight forward, hands forward. As we said, 3/4 type backswing, and then again just trying to restrict my follow through and try and hold it off. So you can see the flight was good. Oh, it's looking pretty good. A little hot. Oh, nearly 144. Okay, so you can see there that definitely penetrated that wind. It didn't balloon and stall like we saw with my A-time, and you can see that was pretty good. You know, if the conditions were that bad, playing a links golf course, I think I'd be pretty happy with that one. So again, you know, keep it simple. Move the ball back a little bit in your stance. Weight slightly forward, hands slightly forward. You know, try and think a shortened backswing, and then really hit down, trying to manage the length of that follow through. And again, always try and feel that you point the club. Now, one thing that's worth noting, as I talked about last week as well, that if you do move the ball position back, further back than where you would normally play it, again, always just aim slightly left, because as you can see from my example there, just moving the back alone generally will make the ball kind of just drift a little bit to the right. So, go on, let me have one more go for you. So I'm going to aim just fractionally more left this time with my feet, as you can see. Feet close, ball in the middle, hands weight forward. Oh, that's on it. Is he going to get the right bounce? Oh, nearly. But anyway, that's enough of me. Keep reading this week's newsletter below. Graham's back from his holiday, so he's reviewing the new Sigma 2 range of pin cutters that have just come in store. We've highlighted our latest free Christmas gift ideas, so there's loads to read, so keep reading below. Let me know how you get on with this if you do play over the weekend, and have a great week. See you later everyone, bye!